How you going, guys and girls? Welcome to the channel. So in this one we're going to be doing a heated blank off plate. Now look, they're nothing new on these cars. Like, people have been modifying these things for bloody plenty of years. The one that I'm going to be doing is a little bit different to what other people are doing. Yes and no. I find there's a few things that I don't like about with the ones that you can just buy, like aftermarket sort of thing. So yeah, gonna make my own, and yeah, I'll show you guys how I do that. Hope you enjoy it. Cheers. So I've made a start on the cardboard template of what I want to make. It's probably one of the more easier things to do, but if you get this right, everything else will sort of follow. So spend a little bit of time on your template making and everything else will sort of go along pretty smoothly. So originally I was going to just have a bit of 1.6 for this heater blank off plate, but I think I'm not really a big fan of that step just there, so I'm going to make it out of a bit of 3mm because I think that'll just finish that off a little bit nicer than some of the other ones that I've seen. So that'll just be a nice sort of level sort of transition with just a bit of a line there. So I just think that'll look a little bit nicer for this one. Alright, so I've got my heater blank off plate all cut out. I've ground up the edges and stuff for the flap disc to sort of help match it to the shape of the firewall. Now it sort of left me with a bit of inaccuracies around just the edges, so I'm going to run a file around them, and I'm sort of in two minds whether or not I want to sort of put a little bit of a radius just on that sort of front face of it or not. So yeah, time will tell.
Usually it's something that moves.
Alrighty, so I've got all that all whipped into shape and I've got 6 bolts holding it. Now I still have the bolts exposed because eventually these are going to be hidden, and you know, that'll just look like a flat plate. One other thing I think I might mention is inside the car, that's just got the 6 holding it. I'm going to have to put another one up in here, I reckon. These bloody, like, that's pulled up really nice. It's just a little bit drumming just through here, and I think if I just ran mastic through it, I really don't think it'd be good sort of long term. So I think I'm going to put another one up in through there, so that means running back down to the shops to get a few more bolts. But yeah, they're just like, that's just like a 3/8 nut, and yeah, they're just my little bolts that I got. I did have to drill out the firewall just slightly for them to go through, but hey, that's just cars, I suppose. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it will look like from the inside. But yeah, what I'll have to do next is I'm going to pop one of these out, or maybe 2 of them, probably the middle ones, and I'll chop the heads off, and yeah, then I'll basically just sit the nut on the thread, just so I've got a little bit of thread poking out, and then I'll just put a bit of weld on that, and yeah, then it will just get linished flat. Easy done. Thought this might be worthy of a mention, how I'm actually holding these little bits of thread that I've got poking just through the firewall there. Here's one I've already done, so that's basically what it ends up like, just a bit of like a plug weld sort of thing. But what I've got actually holding it is just a little bit of masking tape that I sort of poked through the bit of thread that's sticking out, and then I just, well, obviously that's got the nut holding on it as well, so that sort of centers it up for me, holds it there. I'll put a weld on it, and then I'll quickly come around and I'll rip that tape off, and yeah, happy days for that one. So yeah, just thought I'd put that out there for anyone who's sort of wondering how I'm actually doing this, because I mean obviously I don't have 20-foot arms, so yeah, that's that one. Alrighty, so we're all done on that heater blank off plate now. I spun the car around just so I could show you guys a little bit better with the better lighting, that sort of stuff. And really these are the only modifications I've actually done to the body of the car. So I've just elongated these factory holes here, and this one here would have just been like a little screw hole just like this one, and I've just basically just made that bigger to suit these ones, just to match them up. So yeah, that's all I've really done. I can totally put the standard heater box back straight into this, like it's not a drama. Yeah, everything will all fit the way that it needs to be, but at the moment I'm just going to be running a heater blank off plate. So yeah, that's all I've done. Just thought I'd show you guys that. So we're all done on this one for now. Obviously later on down the track, when the car, well, when the firewall and the floor and shit gets all painted, this will get painted the same colour as the firewall, which will just be the satin black, I'm guessing at this stage. And yeah, before final refit, I'll run a bit of mastic just around the edges, and then I'll bolt that down, and hey, look, that'll stop all the dust and shit coming inside the cab. And yeah, it'll seal all that up to the firewall all nicely, more than what it actually is, because yeah, like it's pulled up pretty tight, but yeah, we'll need a bit of mastic and stuff in there, just because the firewall does have a bit of rippling and stuff in it, just from factory. That's just how they are. But yeah, really happy with that. I could have gone down the track of doing the whole cutting all this out and just putting a big flat sheet in the firewall, but I think for this car, I think I just want to run the blank off plate, and look, I'm happy with that. Not everything needs to be a show car or, you know, done all flat firewall, that sort of stuff. I have done them in the past, and look, they're not too bad to do, but hey, like I said, for this car, this is all I really want to do with it. If I decide to put heaters back in the car, I can. And yeah, not really much else to say about that.
Imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves.
Alright, so that's a wrap up for this one, guys. Hope you've enjoyed just watching me piss fart around with this sort of stuff. Hasn't really been a whole lot of work, just knock on something simple as this up. So yeah, I'm guessing this probably won't be a very long video, but hey, here's what it is, I suppose. I must have done a pretty good job at this, because I've already got someone else wanting another one. So yeah, until next time, guys, catch you next week. Cheers.